Today on KUJH News.
The dog flu has hit the Midwest. What you need to know to protect your four-legged friend.
And KU Dining Services raise prices at the dining halls. What you can expect to pay next time you visit Mrs. E's. KUJH News starts now.
From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Brinker. The man charged with one count of attempting to use a weapon of mass destruction on Fort Riley will have his federal preliminary hearing today, according to the Topeka Capital Journal. John T. Booker is also charged with attempting to provide material in support of the Islamic State. Another ISIS-related arrest happened this morning in Minnesota and San Diego. 6 people were arrested in what prosecutors say was a terror recruitment operation.
To be clear, we have a terror recruiting problem in Minnesota. And this case demonstrates how difficult it is to put an end to recruiting here.
2 arrests were made in San Diego, while the other 4 were in Minnesota. The men's motives were discovered during an investigation of a terror recruiting network that targeted the Somali community of Minneapolis. Major changes are being made for student health care. KUJH reporter Emma Hogue has more on the story.
I'm here at Watkins Health Center, where student health care benefits are about to get a whole lot better. The new plan has been in the works for about a year and will give students better benefits than in years past.
This plan has been designed for students, therefore it has a similar demographic population. It's a healthy, compliant population. Because of that, we're able to keep the premium down.
The plan is more affordable than private insurance plans and will cover emergency services, hospitalization, and pregnancy, including maternity and newborn care. But copays are not covered, and some lab services may still have a small fee. The plan price will drop from about $140 per month to $120. If students seek treatment at other facilities or even out of the country, the new health care plan will cover about 80% of those costs, leaving the remaining 20% up to the student. Reporting from Watkins Health Center, Emma Hogue, KUJH News.
The new plan will be implemented this fall. For more information on the new health care plan, visit Watkins' website at studenthealth.ku.edu. Dog flu has hit the Midwest. Cornell University and the University of Wisconsin-Madison say the outbreak has killed 6 and affected 1,000 dogs in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Health professionals warn dog owners not to take their dogs to the affected states. Other precautions include limiting exposure to sick dogs.
If you have friends that were in Chicago and their pets were traveling there and back, those are certainly ones to avoid. But even when you're out and about with your dog, if you see a dog coughing, I would stay far away from there.
Even in our apartment complex, there's dogs right next door, there's a dog over there. And so, I mean, there's no way I'm going to be able to totally limit exposure just because, you know, they run into dogs all the time.
Professionals say the best way to prevent infection is to be proactive, also to stay informed about new developments with the virus. If you're planning to eat on campus next year, you will see prices increase. KU Dining Services will raise their prices at all dining locations. This includes student housing, catering, and cafes. The prices will go up by 3% to pay for KU dining expenses.
And also you have to factor in the increases in utilities and other.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have words for her. I think I probably would just hug her.
And also you have to factor in the increases in utilities and other services that we have to pay for.
The food prices go up. I don't think a lot of students would want to spend their money where they could be spending it on like tuition instead of just spending it on food.
For the past 4 years, dining prices have risen by an average of 3% each year. Coming up on KUJH News, we'll take a look at this week's forecast and see how long this cool breeze is staying with us. Plus,
first, I want to speak directly to the Harris family.
What's next for the Tulsa County Sheriff's Department? We'll have the latest when KUJH returns. Two Tulsa County Sheriff's deputies are reassigned after receiving death threats. The deputies were involved in the fatal arrest attempt of Eric Harris. According to Tulsa County Sheriff Stanley Glanz, the 2 deputies are not facing any charges, and the reassignment is entirely for their own safety.
The deputies have been reassigned for their own safety. There's been some threats made against them and their families. You know, they have a family and kids, and I'm very concerned about their safety. They've been reassigned, but they haven't been suspended.
Unlike the 2 reassigned deputies, Reserve Deputy Bates still faces second-degree manslaughter charges. Severe storms struck Middle Tennessee Sunday afternoon, damaging homes. Heavy rain and winds rolled through neighborhoods, causing trees to fall on houses and cars. Lightning split trees, causing one to fall on a brand new home. One neighbor says the storm left as quick as it came.
It came up fast and it left fast. It didn't last 6 minutes.
The storm was quick, but the Tennessee Fire Department spent the afternoon responding to calls of fallen trees. We also had storms over the weekend, but thankfully it was nothing like Tennessee. It's been a chilly, windy Monday here in Lawrence. Let's see if that trend will stick around for the rest of the week. Alden German is here with a look at the weather. Alden?
Hey Ryan, yeah, we are lucky we haven't had a very active severe weather season here in the Lawrence area, so hopefully we'll be able to keep up that trend for the rest of severe weather season. But as you said, it was fairly cool today, but temperatures are going to cool down a little bit more as we go on through the week. Here's a look at some footage that was shot outside earlier today. You can see the sky. It was partly cloudy skies today, some nice blue skies, some puffy clouds, and right there's the Dole Center where we are currently broadcasting live with KUJH News. It was very windy today. We had winds 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 and even 35 miles an hour, but I don't expect for it to be that windy tomorrow. Here is a look at your Tuesday planner. 7 a.m., 40 degrees, breezy. We might see a shower tomorrow morning, but it's not going to be anything significant, so I only put the chance for that at 10%. And also going throughout the day, the clouds should also clear up and we should have a mostly sunny sky tomorrow. Look at that temperature jump from 7 a.m. to noon, 60 degrees during that 4-hour time span. And then at 6 p.m. it'll be 63 degrees, still clear skies and still no chance for rain tomorrow except in the morning, and that's just a few showers. Here's a look now at the next 3 days for you. Our high tomorrow is actually going to be 67 degrees, and that's going to be the warmest day for the next few days as well. So we'll have a high tomorrow of 67 degrees, and then moving into Wednesday and Thursday, there is also a chance that we might see some showers and thunderstorms, but it's not going to be anything too significant. Temperatures will be cooling off on Wednesday as well. Our highs on Wednesday will only be about 65 degrees or so, and then on Thursday temperatures will also cool off a little bit more as well. Looking into later week though, temperatures will continue to be in the 60s, and we might also only have temperatures, our highs, in the 50s. Back to you guys at the desk.
Alden, thanks so much. Record Store Day is an international celebration of the independently owned record stores around the world. This year's celebration was Saturday, and locally owned shop Love Garden Sounds had people camping out overnight to get the first pick of the day's specials.
Brick and mortar record stores have a hard time competing with the convenience of online retailers and the power of corporate chains. But their supporters prefer sifting through vinyls one by one to find that perfect record.
I also like to pull the record off the shelf, open it up, put it on the turntable, that experience of looking at the liner notes.
Maybe it's the nostalgia.
It's a tactile, thing, and also reminds me of youth.
Or the community.
The idea of having a community place where you can go to talk about music, find out what interests you in a tangible, real-world way instead of the anonymity of the internet.
But record stores aren't dead yet.
The vinyl is the only way to listen to music.
And that's exactly what Record Store Day celebrates.
It's a celebration of the culture of record stores.
Corcoran says today's sales are up 10% from last year on the same day.
Stores are doing well. People are looking to stores right now.
So what's so special about Record Store Day?
Some of them are limited, and then once they're gone today, they're gone for good.
Stores stock up on a few rare records for the special occasion, and fans wait up all night to be the first in the doors to spot that hidden gem. And when you find it,
I just had to ask. If you want it, that's fine. You got it first.
You never let it go.
Yeah, I think I have to keep it, but sorry.
Reporting from Love Garden Sounds, Sierra Upton, KUJH News.
There you go. Thanks so much.
Hundreds of records were released exclusively for Record Store Day, ranging from Bob Dylan to the Dixie Chicks. Corcoran says Brand New's album was the first to sell out. I'm joined now by Alana Flinn in the studio for KUJH Sports. Alana, are you a big record enthusiast?
You know, my dad's huge into them, so I'm really big into it too. He has this huge sound system, so that's kind of our thing. And we actually went on Saturday and we got new records, so it worked out. Coming up in sports, it looks like the search for a new head women's basketball coach has come to an end for the Jayhawks. So who is it? More after the break. And KUJH sports reporter Hank Cavagnaro is out at a spring football practice. Hank?
And KU football is preparing for their annual spring game. We have more coming up in sports.
And the search for a new KU women's basketball head coach is over. It has been confirmed via KU Athletics that Stephen F. Austin coach Brandon Schneider will take the helm at KU. He led his team to a 95-66 record over the past 5 seasons. Schneider also has ties to Kansas as he led Emporia State to a national championship in 2010 and is also their winningest coach in women's basketball history with a 306-72 record. A formal announcement will be made tomorrow at 10 a.m. KU football, like women's basketball, will be looking for a fresh start with new coaches. Head coach David Beatty is in the final days of his first spring football season with the Jayhawks. KUJH Sports reporter Hank Cavagnaro is out at practice right now.
And we are just outside the KU practice facility. Practice was supposed to start about 12 minutes ago, but as you can see, team's not here. Maybe they're getting a little extra film before the spring game this weekend. You know, every team wants to have a winning season. Most coaches are okay with just a winning week, but the KU new football staff wants their players to win it each and every day.
Making it be competition, us earning it, and then winning the day. You know, that's been our whole mantra and what we're building our foundation on this spring with this new staff. So that's what we've been kind of leaning on this.
And Montel Cozart has more than just practice to win each and every day. He's fighting for a starting job. Both him and Michael Cummings took snaps last year for the Jayhawks, and they will both be in action this Saturday for KU's spring game. Reporting live just outside Anderson Football Complex, I'm Hank Cavagnaro, KUJH Sports.
Thank you, Hank. The spring game will kick off at 1 p.m. The gloomy weather seemed to take a toll on the Jayhawks Sunday as KU allowed 16 runs from Texas in their last home game of the weekend. Every single Texas batter had a base hit in the game. Kansas already taking heat from Texas in the first inning. The Longhorns' Michael Cantu with a base hit to left. Ben Johnson comes around to score, but he gets tagged out and sticks a cleat into the catcher. The ump holding Johnson back as things get heated, but no ejections are handed out. To the third inning, Texas's CJ Hinojosa slams the ball to center field for a leadoff double. This time, Johnson scores the first run of the game. Still in the top of the third, Cantu sends the ball to left field for extra bases. Hinojosa scores to make it 2-0 Texas. And the Jayhawks finally put their first runs on the board with a 2-run bomb from Michael Tinsley in the bottom of the fourth, bringing the score to 4-2 Texas. There was a pitching change in the middle of the game as a lot of pitchers were unable to deliver for the Jayhawks. Texas rolls 16-7, Longhorns with 23 hits on the afternoon. Up next for the Jayhawks, a home game against Wichita State tomorrow at 6 p.m. What drama over the weekend between the Royals and the A's. 5 Royals and coaches, including manager Ned Yost, were ejected from Sunday's game. So far, no reports on suspensions. Here's what caused Yost to get tossed. Lorenzo Cain takes a 92-mile-an-hour ball to the ankle in the bottom of the first. The Royals pitching coach was also ejected. Top of the third, Ben Zobrist sends a line drive up right field, sending Marcus Semien home for the first run of the game. Bottom of the 8th, A's up 2-1. Lorenzo Cain cranks one past the glove of Sam Fuld. That sends Paulo Orlando into score to tie up the game. Still bottom of the 8th, runners on first and third. Eric Hosmer sends a ball to the fence. His double sends Cain home, cinching the Royals' 4-2 win over the Athletics. The Royals begin their series against the Minnesota Twins at home tonight in a hopefully less tumultuous game series. First pitch is at 7:10. The KU softball team lost to Tulsa 3-2 on Sunday. Jayhawks pitcher Alicia Pilley was pulled after just a third of an inning, giving up 2 runs, including a home run. She is tagged with a loss, dropping 20-3 on the season. Up next for the Jayhawks, a home game on Wednesday against SIU Edwardsville. First pitch is slated for 1 p.m. An interesting weekend for track. The KU relays were supposed to last 4 days, but Mother Nature caused Saturday's events to be combined with Friday's, making it a long day, pushing Friday's schedule until after midnight. Despite the packed schedule, senior Michael Stigler managed to secure a 400-meter hurdles win on Friday. Senior Lindsey Vollmer won 6 out of 7 total events in the heptathlon on Thursday, breaking the KU relays record for overall points in a heptathlon with 5,767 points. The Jayhawks also had wins in the men's discus, the men and women's 5,000 meter run, the men and women's 4x800 relay, and women's pole vault. Stigler says he now is looking forward to completing some unfinished business at the upcoming NCAA tournament.
I definitely feel like I have unfinished business. Just going there 2 years in a row, placing runner-up is definitely something that I don't want to do this year. The goal is definitely to bring home a national title and put a national title under my belt before I leave KU.
Next up for the Jayhawks are the Drake Relays in Des Moines on Wednesday. The first event starts at 11:30 in the morning. NCAA tournament. It's a huge deal, not only for Stigler, but also a bunch of track athletes just in general. And it's going to be probably the most tumultuous event of the year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, actually, speaking of big deals, a fairly big deal happened just this weekend. And I will warn you at home, you may want to have your tissues ready for this next story. Josh Michaels has been engaged to his girlfriend Laura for 3 years. For those same 3 years, he's been living with stage 4 cancer. With high medical bills, he can't afford an engagement ring for his girlfriend Laura, but that problem was solved by social media. A New Mexico woman whose engagement didn't work out has given the couple her ring for free.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have words for her. I think I probably would just hug her.
Josh proposed on the spot, ring in hand. And what do you guys think Laura said?
Yes, hopefully. I would imagine.
It'd be kind of embarrassing if she said no. So hopefully for him, she said yes.
Yes, of course she said yes. And we here at KUJH hope them nothing but the best and hope everything works out. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.